That's why I brought you here.
Everybody, when we talk about Win Trust Tech, I want you to think about one thing, because we need to change the way we think about banking and these other things. If you thought, oh my God, okay, this is good. If I do this, it might give me a chance. That's good right now where we're at. Call this your baseline. The next time you sit down in front of a bank, and I told Mr. Kidd this myself. I told Mr. Kidd this very briefly. When I go in a bank, they don't want to deal with this. I'm a beast, right? And when I say that my credit is where it needs to be, I'm tinkering around the 800 mark whenever I need to. I've got cash. I've got an understanding. I'm very liquid with cash, not just a little. I got cash. I'm very clear on what I want to do with my business, so I'm not asking. I'm telling you. And that's the position you need to be in when you go to these banks. And then you also need to know what they do. Like if I'm doing a real estate, I'm just giving a personal example. If I'm doing a real estate loan, I'm not going to Chase Bank. They don't do that. I know that before I go to them. Research the bank you're going to as well. Now, old Charter One Bank, before they got bought out by U.S. Bank, they did real estate loans all day long. You know that before you go in. So you know if you're asking that they do the type of loans you're doing. But think about this as your first step, and this is your entry point. But beyond here, you need to be thinking about what do I need to put myself in position so that next money I ask for, I'm telling them what I need. And when they say, no, I'm going to give you $150,000, you have enough business intelligence and financial aptitude to know, I don't need 100. Just give me 25. But give me 25 as a line of credit because I don't need, we can give you $100,000 right now. I don't need an installment loan for $100,000. I need a $25,000 revolving line of credit. Can you give that to me? Yes or no? And so you know when to say that's not enough or that's too much or this is what I need. And be ready to do that. Not this step. Let's do whatever they tell us we can do based on the stuff we do. But you think about your next step. You be ready to go in there and you can be in there. I didn't say, I can't say it. I'm trying to get my words right. I didn't say go in the bank and be a butthole. Right. Be professional, but you know what you have. So you feel professional, you're humble, but you're not going to be swayed from what you want and what you need. And that's the posture you need to go into a bank with. Your next time, if you can't do that right now.
Okay. Well, but one of the things before I leave you is that Tyler is agreed to work with us where we need him, and before we do the banking workshop, we'll bring him in to give us some pointers on how we should deal with the bank and how we expect the bank to deal with us.
Yes. Excellent.
I'm just going to get in where I can fit in. So
okay, good enough.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kidd. So this is going to be bringing up Lord Mike up in a second to close out remarks. I'm really excited. I have a nonchalant personality, so it might not be able to tell I'm excited, but I am. Because I'm a laid back individual and I'm an observer. So I observe and I watch and I learn. And I learned a lot from my dad, so that's why I'm here. He said, hey, I need you on this committee. That's fine, because everything I have came from him. He laid the foundation and we're building on that. And that's what we want to be able to provide to everybody. So a couple of things that I want everybody to take from it. We always get on about being negative. And we understand we're from different generations and he dealt with different things. But from where I stand, we're in a clearing, in a clear space. It's nothing but possibility because of the way the world is right now. We're going to birth something great or something bad is going to happen. Right. And that choice is ours to make. Everything happens. Every result you get is because of an action or an inaction that you took. Yeah. So right now we're setting up, as I just said, the clear space to start to take those actions to get everything you want out of life. That's what this really is about. So, Lord, if you come up and close us out, appreciate that, sir.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for giving me a chance to tell everybody kind of just wrap up and what's been shared today. Give a little bit more shape and direction to it, kind of trajectory of where we're going as far as with the Chamber, the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce, in conjunction with a number of our different corporate partners, municipal government entities, and civic agencies, all that going on. I want to touch on a couple of things real quick here that I kind of made notes from as Jay and Julie were up here, Mr. Kidd were up here. The database piece. A lot of people are looking for a database, or they're trying to build My Black Business directory or something like that case. There's actually a few different Black business databases that are out there. Some throughout that represent the state, that represent different areas, especially Chicago, of course, and national ones. The big thing with that is a lot of them are trying to charge for the database to have access to it.
Right.
Because frankly, we have a finite number of Black businesses out there, and when we talk about procurement and participation and things along those lines, a number of agencies and corporations, they want to use those databases so they can meet their goals, and they're not doing it in the appropriate ways. So one of the checks and balances is in the relationship and what real line of connectivity you have with them. So that's what separates our database initiative from most that are out there. It's a free database. You can access it completely free. It's really, if you're really going to benefit from it, it's about the relationship that you have with those businesses. And that's what really makes the difference, the real access to real opportunities and to create opportunities. So that's what the Chamber does every day. Okay, so from, I kind of just seen a number of different areas of synergy just from this table, around this table, just in this cohort here. And if you think about it, how exponential that could be, if there were 40 or 50 people here and they all had the same ambition and the same tenacity that you guys have, then we would see exponential growth for Black businesses and Black nation. And that's really where we want to get to. So it's about what is the real strategy for that. So as a chamber, the IOBCC, we do have a very specific, very well-defined, concise, aggressive growth and development plan for the Black nation that starts from the state level and matriculates to each localized sector that we have there. You're going to be critical, in terms of how we really create banking and finance consciousness and how we shift the consciousness and elevate to this new millennial model that's out there. When you brought up the IoT, Jay, Internet of Things, it's a lot deeper. That rabbit hole goes way, way, way down there. And the bottom line is that if we're not engaged with the real baseline of technologies and how we communicate and how we do business out there, you're not going to be as proficient. You're not going to be able to maximize and earn the way that you're supposed to. I apologize. Thank you. So it's important that we do, that's why this workshop regimen is so comprehensive, because it addresses those particular areas and it gives you a really good one-on-one dialogue where you can really learn about it and get some real world application into these different areas that's ranging from all the different parts here. So my role as a facilitator is specifically the helping our participants understand what their digital self is. How do you really coordinate and integrate your digital personas to make one unified thread of being, so that you can navigate and represent yourself within the IoT, within the new millennial spaces. So that's why it's important. That's why we thought we should take the time to actually do a workshop, to be sure that everybody really first has the fundamental academic points. You have the essential knowledge bases of it, and then we can do some real world applications and make sure you're really functioning and you become proficient in how you utilize your digital selves. So that's kind of in a nutshell. It'll be a little bit more, obviously, it'll be more to that particular piece, but it's really straightforward. As most of these different workshops will be, they'll be very straightforward in the arenas where they are intended to be. So that's my that's my primary role in the cross-pollination program. My bigger role with the Chamber as a director of marketing, which is being integrated in the capacity building initiatives, is this is a rebirth of a capacity building initiative that we started in 2014 with DCEO, Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity, which is no longer, they've morphed into a different entity now. But that first phase was to identify and assess what Black businesses we have out there on the ground, statewide. And we, obviously realized that we have a high concentration up here in Chicagoland. But you know, we have to really get a good understanding of what we're looking like throughout the rest of the state. And it's not just Southern Illinois; it's everything below, you know, the corridor there. So now when we first proposed the cross-pollination program, you know, it was a business-to-business cohort. That was the idea there, because it's critical. It's been explained and why that's important to do business with each other. But what we learned through experience is that we got to have successful businesses first. We got to make sure the businesses are strong enough to stand on their own 2 legs to actually do good business with other businesses. So that's where the capacity really kind of came back into it. And that's kind of where the focus is really at right now. Making sure that the businesses are strong. That's why assessment is so critical. That's why the workshops understand which ones are most important to your business are really important. So this is the pilot of the statewide program that's going to be hitting each strategic site as we move through. So within the 6 months, as this one becomes more successful, we'll be opening up the next area, Northern, Central, and Regional Illinois. We have very good relationships, as I said, with a lot of partners, corporate, municipal, government, that help to create that support system to do all the different initiatives of capacity building. One of the big pieces of capacity building is helping to expand Black business footprint throughout the state. So we have strong businesses. We want to make other areas strong. We need to spur business growth there. One of the best and quickest ways is to open up businesses there that start employing people. So we have relationships with larger firms that are interested in expanding their footprint. So my point in saying all that is that this is the pilot that really sets up a plethora of opportunities, of potential opportunities for Black entrepreneurs, workforces, and business. Not just in the Washington Heights corridor, but throughout the state of Illinois. Every business is ready to do business, but lots of people have ambitions too. When you spoke to banking and financing and micro lenders, frankly, we have partners, and there are financing mechanisms that, you know, they range up there in the millions. They won't even have a conversation with you unless you have a tangible project that's worth $50 million. They won't have a conversation with you. But they legitimately have an interest in opening up those relationships. Okay? What the chamber does is give you access to those networks, help you build the capacity to get to those networks. Okay? So that's why this cohort, that's why this pilot program is so important, because it's in a hotbed and it has a really aggressive leadership that's seen it through. And I can't thank Mr. Kidd and his team enough for what they've done thus far. It's going to be a lot more work ahead of us. But it's important that we all get engaged to create this fabric. And that's what's really going to help strengthen Black nation. The village that it takes isn't just to make the finance people. I'm sorry, was it Pinkston? Pinkston, Dr. Pinkston.
Yes.
Okay, I totally get it, brother. I totally get it, the humbleness. But to be 100% frank, if we cannot spotlight you, okay, as a leader for young Black men and young Black people, as a doctor, legitimately, then we do ourselves a disservice. So I want to honor you, brother. Okay, and every opportunity I can, I want to refer to you as Dr. Okay, and I would encourage you to share that attitude with brothers and sisters, because we deserve to be proud of each other. We deserve to be proud of ourselves. So that's part of this fabric that we're talking about as we build a Black nation. It's so intricate. There's so many different threads to it that we can spend a lot of time just identifying those threads. Okay, but that's what the chamber does. We've already identified. What we want to do is have you guys build, strengthen your, spark the encouragement and the energy in you guys, so you can share with other ambitious business people that there are opportunities out here. We're identifying opportunities, we're assessing how ready you are for them, we're getting you ready for them, and we're getting you to them. Okay, and that's what the cross-pollination program is all about through and through. So now, I know there's, when we talk about banking and finance, one of the magic questions is, how much does it cost to be part of the program? And to be frank, for this money, we can't do the work unless it's take resources. But as Mr. Ivory, some of you guys weren't here for the introductory piece, President Ivory, but he kind of expressed in his introductory piece that it's the return on investment is so exponential, and the actual investment you're making is so minimal, you know, that it's you know, it's like you really you got to you have to invest in yourself, and we have to know that you're making a commitment to the cross-pollination program. And the only way we know, just like you want us to make a commitment to you, is you got to put your money where your mouth is. So there is a nominal cost to be a part of the program, but it pales in contrast to what you're actually getting, what you're actually the return on your investment. So the difference in what we're doing, because there's lots of different capacity building initiatives, there's lots of chambers out there, there's lots of splinter factions of people who are ambitious and want to do a lot of things. Frankly, what separates us is the actions. Okay, when we say real world, real time opportunities, we show. Okay? If you go to our website, ILBC.org testimony, you'll see a good background of what we've done, events. You'll see our partners page. You'll see the list of the different, all the different supporters that we have from so many different walks of life and professions. You'll see how real it is, and you'll see that there is a real plan of how we really strengthen Black Nation, and together we can make that happen. So, okay, so those shots kind of wrap up what the CBI is. It's a capacity building initiative with an incubator component attached to it that leads to business works, having a business initiative there. And I want to encourage everybody to go to the website, because we do have the portal. You'll have access to that once you become a part of the program. But we do have a Facebook page for the cross-pollination program. We have the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce Facebook page and website, of course. We have a chat group, the My Black Business Directory, My Black Business Network chat group. That's a few thousand people strong there. And it has actual directory components to that if you want to look at that and kind of see who's out there. And that'll give you a great way to kind of interface, as we get all these things sorted out and get everybody inducted into the program. That's really the way that we interface right now and share some of the initiatives there. So with that, it's definitely the cross-pollination workshop program is definitely worth something worth getting excited about. I want to thank everybody for coming and being here. It's the time of the Saturday morning and afternoon, and open for questions.
Question, if you may have done this, it's a suggestion if you have not. Is there a Twitter or hashtag for Twitter for the program? Because some of us know, friend Dr. Pinkston, even Julie and Jenna, we have some pretty large networks on some of the Twitter accounts and some of the other social media. Is there one that we can share the information?
Right now, the chamber just has a hashtag Get Engaged.
Okay.
Be Engaged.
Okay.
But I would like to start one that's kind of specific just for cross-pollination, but it doesn't have, we can kind of round table.
Cool. Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Mike, you did mention this.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the cost is $200 for the program. That's for the entire program, indoor, outdoor. It's going to get you all the workshops, all of the support materials. When we talk about the readiness for banking and finance, that's actually going to be a really comprehensive program, working with our financing partners to really sell out and almost create a template for our businesses to fit inside that. That makes it more streamlined for them to get to become bankable. So that, a number of other materials and stuff that kind of are more defined online, and you can get more information from Mr. Kidd or from the team if you need to. But again, $200 is, if you break that down, you can kind of extrapolate that, and the cost is really, I consider it to be a very small cost. I won't say it's significant because I'm not a rich man, but it's a small cost in relation to what you're actually going to get and the network in itself.
And I don't know if you were going to point it out. It's something that we're not, you can do it today or you can do it up to the point of the first workshop, but it has to be paid up prior to or the day of the workshop if you can participate.
So the membership is for the organization, so if I can't make the workshop.
The membership is for the cross-pollination program, okay? And of course, it's representative. If you can't contribute to all these workshops.
at the end of the YouTube, I'm sorry, in 20 back, we will videotape each workshop.